Everybody who's a creative and gets well known for something, gets some notoriety, they struggle with nobody seeing all the years it took to get their first batch of things together. Let's say music, for instance. You could spend 5, 6, 7 years writing songs and playing and getting lots of feedback and working and refining and nailing 20 or 30 songs. You get your first record deal and you go in and they say, give us your 10 best. Well, you don't cherry pick mediocre stuff. You pick your 10 best because you want your second record deal. Problem is, those are the 10 best songs of a half a decade. And then as soon as you're done, if it fails, opportunity's lost. If it doesn't fail, they say, all right, give us 10 more songs. Let's do another album. And you go, oh shit, we picked our 10 best songs. And so there's this little sophomore slump that happens. It's been called in the record business. And it's the same with Knife or any other creative thing. Somebody does some great work. Orson Welles did a movie called Citizen Kane, and it's a cinematic masterpiece studied in film classes around the world. And arguably, it was his high point of his career. He did his best work right out of the gate and never matched it again. I had been making knives, and I came up with the Praetorian. And the Praetorian was this... I almost rage designed it. I almost anger designed it. I had the original picture sitting next to me that I sketched with this mechanical pencil right here. And I didn't expect it to do what it did. And then I paused that knife in the company a little over a year ago because I was just kind of like, like Don McLean, I'm tired of playing American Pie. So I'm not playing that anymore. Let's do a new thing. So I needed some cash flow at the time, and I wanted to offer, I was like, I know my banker would give me some money, but it was like an interest rate that made me sick to my stomach. I thought about how many conversations I've had with well-heeled customers of mine who've asked to invest in my knife company. And I was like, it was just one of those chocolate peanut butter cup, or it's like the Bud Light commercial, where they hit the top of the TV with the can, and the one buddy wants to watch sumo and the other one wants to watch bowling, and next thing you know, it's sumo bowling. I just had one of these moments kind of come together, and I said, well, listen, why don't we just, instead of going to the bank with our hand out and having them kind of stick it to us the way banks do, why don't we do something? Everybody does all these crowdfunding things, and half the time that shit doesn't even get made and people lose their money. Why don't we just ask our most engaged, most loyal people if they want to participate, and then what can we do for them? And so I said, well, I'm going to draw a crazy baller ass knife that's going to be worth more than $1,000, and we're going to borrow $1,000 from each one of those guys. They buy it, prepaid knife for $1,000. Now we're going to send them a cool titanium card that's probably on the collector world, and the collector world's going to go for a couple $100 at some point. But they're already pretty pricey and rare. So we'll do this black card, and then they're buying a mystery knife. Well, I started drawing the knife, and I put the knife together, and the knife came out abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a little, so this is my sophomore. It's not really my sophomore. I've made a lot of knives. But this is like a little, I don't know if it's a little affirmation that I'm able to just sit down and draw a rock star knife. And this is a rock star knife. So without any further ado, I want to show you the current version. This is the first pre-production knife. So the way this goes when we go to make a new knife. So I've had a couple of wealthy Arabs. And I mean like Arab wealthy, not like American wealthy. It's not like they worried about where their kids go to college. They don't worry about college. It wasn't like they worried about what kind of jet to buy. They just bought a couple of each. So I've had some guys reach out to me and say they want the coolest one of a kind in the world. And I never wanted to do it for anybody because it's not how I'm set up. I'm set up with this process of pre-production and then testing, destructive and non-destructive testing and experimenting with the models, adjustments, and then going in production and doing small production runs. And so the guys are like, Greg, I want you to make the knife. And I'm like, I don't, it's not really what I do. And they said, but you do. And I said, it's not really what I do. And they said, tell me a number. And I went, I don't know, it'd probably 100 grand, 150 grand. And they go, 125. And I'm like, what? And I've done that. So, okay, I make a knife and I do one pre-production run. I make them one knife, send them the tool in a little crate. They get the tool and the knife. For $125,000, I'll make you 2 tools. So anyways, I'm set up in this process where I make a very small batch of them, and you can print out prototypes, and you could do this and you could do that, but you just don't know until you feel the weight in your pocket. You go to grab it a few times, and you manhandle it, and you work it, and you break it, or try to break it. So we make a pre-production run of 10 knives. Now this run, we did a pre-production run of 10, and 8 of them are perfect knives. The first 2 were working out some bugs. So we cut the parts. We say, because I may feel the knife and go, you know, there's a little hot spot right here. Let's get rid of this material. Well, they don't want to cut 500 parts out. Have to change 500 parts. Or, hey, it feels small right here. Add a little, because I kind of go with my gut on the hands, you know. Anyway, we did them, and they're spectacular. And I couldn't be happier. And it's probably the coolest knife design, certainly in the frame lock universe I've seen. So I want to show you the knife. Here's the presentation side in the closed position. You'll notice it's got gentle full contour machining. It's got an offset diamond check. On this side, this is actually my signature engraved down into the titanium. Logo at the top. Same exact offset diamond pattern. So this is a tumbled black oxide handle. We're gonna, not black oxide, black anno handle. And we're gonna jump the shark a little bit on that as we get to making them. It's got our vented back strap with our hidden lanyard channel. Let me open this up. Now I'm going to show you the knife so you get a sense of the knife. You can see the marking on it. It's pretty subtle. Really cool feature is this through-looking window into our vented back strap. We've got lands here for thumbing the knife open. A really exaggerated pyramid style thumb stud, oversized. And it just fits the knife. Now, I'm gonna open the knife up 3 times so that you kind of can see. First, I'm gonna flip it in the vertical position. Now, super awkward angle, and it flips like a machine gun. Not hard at all, super easy. Flips really, really nicely. And the grip on it is lovely. You feel you kind of saddle right against the flipper tab, but it's not in the way, it's not a hot spot. Next thing we can do is we can thumb it open. So we can grab this big ergonomic thumb. We've got this dip right here. We can slide right in and get a nice thumb open with that. Now that's an ambidextrous thumb. So it's not who's right, it's who's left. Some of you that are lefty weirdos, you guys are covered. We've put these lands, I call them lands, like lands and grooves in a rifle barrel. We've put these lands here. They are not symmetrical. They've got a sharp side and a soft side to them. And the sharp side is in the direction of thumbing the knife open. So we could just have that be the opener and minimally get rid of everything else. But I don't think that's what people like. I wanted to give you 3 legit ways to open the knife. You can thumb it open, flip it open, or you can thumb it open that way. 3 ambidextrous ways of opening the knife. Now, the handles are going to be some sort of black anodized with a gentle tumble. They'll be a little blacker than these. And then the hardware, I'm not going to do blackout hardware on them. I'm going to do bright hardware. So you have bright work hardware contrasting against darked out blade with bright vented back strap. Blade will be a a bright work blade with a blackened out titanium ambidextrous oversized pyramidic thumb stud. And that way everything pops and everything's got contrast. That's the way the knife's going to come out. Let me give you a little look this way. Guys, I have never made a more sexy folder. You can look through. There's so much going on here. I wish I could show you better. Maybe if I put a little, let me see if I have a little light here. I think I do. Of course I don't. Of course I don't. Somebody has absconded with my little, I had a little flashlight here I was going to show you. Oh well. Imagine the contrast, which you might be able to see there, of the titanium on the inside and the black and stone-washed exterior. This knife's got user written all over it. That's the Black Card knife. And, well, Greg, what's this for? That's to look in at how cool everything is. And it's all been chamfered and deburred. It's sexy and smooth. Cool branding, very subtle. Like, you know, it's kind of understated. It's not a bunch of words. Nobody will even know what that is. I just think it's a little mark on it. And if you turn it sideways, you go, oh my God, that's Greg's signature. Yeah, this way, you can see it right there. Anyway, that's the Black Card knife, and we are Full Tilt Boogie making bunches of these. Hope you dig it.